First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to take in my father's daughter? My father cheated on my mother and got another woman pregnant. Mom immediately filed for divorce. He went on to marry the other woman. My dad didn't have much custody of me when I was little. He was nice and tried really hard, but my mom was my primary custodian and there was nothing that I wouldn't do for her. I guess the fact that he always disrespects my mom, acts like she is the reason he cheated, just made me hate him. My mother also strictly told my father that I am not to have any contact with his wife/child. This happened when I was 5. I am now 20. Right now, I don't have any family except for my father, with whom I have got all contact with. He didn't come to my mom's funeral, and that was the last straw for me. Few months ago, my father's daughter, Tracy, contacted me. Turns out that she has lost both her parents to the pandemic. She was about to go into foster care and begged me to help her. I told her very politely that I do not want to have any contact with her, and that she cannot possibly expect me to take care of her when I am just a broke college student. She told me that she had plans and she would work, and all I have to do is not let her go into foster home. She told me that she will take care of herself. She asked me to help her as I am her sister. As I mentioned, I have no clue about this person. I don't even know if what she was suggesting was legally possible. In the end, I told her that I wasn't in any position to help her, and I don't know her. I told her that while we do have the same father, I don't consider him to be my father, and I don't consider her to be my sister. I wished her luck, but also firmly told her that I do not wish to have any contact with her. After that, I ignored any attempt she made to contact me. She has recently started trying to contact me again. I had some glimpse at the messages and she alternates between calling me monster/heartless to how awful her foster home is. I haven't responded. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. No a-holes here. She's a scared 14 to 15-year-old in foster care, and you're the only option she can see out of it. It sucks, but you aren't wrong. You don't have to have a relationship with her, and it's not like you were in any position to take care of her. It's a sucky situation, but it's probably best if you ask her to stop messaging you, and if she doesn't, block her. I understand she's going through a lot, but it doesn't give her the right to take it out on you, a stranger. Kid probably has a whole fantasy relationship with Opie in her head. I know I did about my much older brothers, that they would rescue me from our father, that they loved me, that one day I'd go live with them. Opie is in no position to parent this kid, but it's a bitter dose of truth for kids, sis. No a-holes here. No a-holes here, but I'm going to tell you something you definitely don't want to hear. Your dad cheated on your mom, and that was a jerk move on his part. Even stupider that he would try and blame it on her. Your mom messed up too, though. You say you had little contact with your father, and then say that your mom forbade any contact to his wife and other child? She knew that meant she was limiting contact between you and him. That literally meant you couldn't have a room in their home, no holidays together, etc. She alienated your father. And this girl is your sister, whether you want to recognize it or not. She didn't cheat on your mom. Your dad did. I'm not saying you should take her in, because not doing so is your choice and your right. I do think it's time to start critically thinking about why you worship one parent and denounce the other. Your mom may have been great, but she wasn't perfect, and it's unhealthy to idolize someone so unquestionably. Especially since it occurred when Opie was 5, I get some serious parental alienation vibes from the mom. Also, that Opie somehow thinks her dad should have come to her mom's funeral. Most people don't go to their ex's funeral, especially if that person hated them. Could dad have supported Opie in other ways? Maybe, but given the circumstances, it's difficult. Dad is the estranged parent. Mom hated dad. I've been there, and there was nothing my dad could have done to help. No a-holes here. You can't afford to take care of a virtual stranger. She sounds like a scared kid. Edit to add. Though, if her parents are dead, so is your father? Really cut him off hard, didn't you? Yes, I didn't even know that he passed away until she called. Now for the second story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to adopt my sister's kid? My husband and I already have 3 kids. 2 are adopted. 1 is my biological child from a previous relationship, ages 11, 9, and 8. My sister is pregnant. She can't look after the baby. So she asked us to adopt her child as it would be a short and uncomplicated process for us. as we already know what we're doing both in terms of adoption and babies. And, as we are approved adoptive parents, who still foster from time to time, it would be simple enough to take in an extra child. However, I am concerned at my sister's behavior. She's already referring to the child as her baby, which is fair enough as the baby is growing inside of her, but it makes me worry that she won't be able to detach herself from the child. Additionally, I'm concerned that I will unwittingly become a glorified babysitter until she decides she wants to take the child back, as she has said that while she wants this baby, she's not ready yet. I have friends who have adopted relatives' children, and it becomes a mess of various boundary-related issues. Example, the bio parent telling the kid to call them mom/dad. While my kids have said they'd be okay with it, and my husband has also said so, the final concern is that if she changes her mind later and tries to take the child back, or even just trample some boundaries related to the child that will disrupt our home and upset all my kids, as the kids I have now need a stable family dynamic due to their history. When I communicated these worries to my sister, she said she might have some lingering maternal instincts because this would still be her biological child, but she feels this shouldn't be enough to talk me out of it. Both of our parents are only children, so we have no cousins/aunts/uncles who could take the baby, and while we do have 2 other siblings, neither of them is able to take the baby. She is about 6 weeks away from her due date. So, if I hold firm on refusing, she needs to start talking to adoptive parents ASAP. She's admitted that the reason she wants me to take the baby is that I am closer, and she'll be able to see her child in a way that she couldn't if the child were adopted by strangers, but insists that she can maintain any boundaries I put in place despite it still being her kid. Added to add, she also thinks we'd be a good family to adopt the child, as we're set up for another kid right now due to our fostering. We even have baby stuff in the attic and a 7-seater car, and have discussed adopting more children in the future, though we talked about doing it when the children we have right now are older. So, the inclusion of a baby wouldn't be highly disruptive to us, and my husband and I would really love having a baby in the house, and actually debated adopting a baby. I've refused, as I just don't think this is a good idea, and this has led to my sister, siblings, parents, and grandparents calling me an a-hole, saying I need to help my family and that they can't believe I would allow this baby to be surrendered to the system. And I do feel really bad, as I don't want my niece/nephew to be sent to live with strangers. I would like to be involved in their life, and I've not even given it a chance. Well, I won't be making any choices based off a poll of random people on the internet, no offense. I am wondering if anyone could provide me a different perspective. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. It sounds like she wants you to do all the hard work of actually being a parent, and she can just show up for the good bits when she feels like it. Not the a-hole. Your concerns are very valid based on her attitude and things said. Nailed it. Info. How old is your sister? Where is the father? Could he cause problems? What are the reasons your sister can't look after the baby? It very much sounds like she plans to let you do all the hard work, and then when the baby's 5/6, she'll be ready with no concern to you. Could you help the sister in other ways? If money's the issue, could she stay in your spare room for 6 months to save? If it's time, could you and another family member babysit for a few hours each day? Like you do 3 hours and someone else does 3 hours until the baby is old enough for childcare? Why are you the A for letting the kid go into foster care, but your sister isn't for not wanting to sort them a loving family because she still wants some connection? There's so many other options that can be considered that everyone jumping straight to you taking the baby makes your sister's plan pretty clear. And where are your parents in all this? Why can't they look after the child for 2 to 3 years until your sister is ready? She's 31, 2 years older than me. Boyfriend broke up with her recently, in the ballpark of 6 to 8 weeks ago, after saying he wanted to have this baby with her, but he's now saying he won't be involved at all unless she adopts the baby out. In which case, he'll sign whatever he needs to sign for the adoption to go through, and that's going to be the extent of his involvement. Sister has no financial issues. Her issue is that without the boyfriend involved, she will be a single mother, which she says she cannot do, due to the mental/emotional toll she can see motherhood taking on her, and not being ready for that progression. Not the a-hole. She can try an open adoption if she really wants to see her baby, but you shouldn't take in a child if you have so many reservations. Even with open adoptions, the birth parent doesn't get to see the child whenever they want. It's normal only a number of visits throughout the year, which is the reason the sister doesn't want another couple because she won't have free access to the child. Not the a-hole. I really feel for your soon-to-be nephew/niece. Is it possible for any of your other siblings to adopt? Or your parents or grandparents? I mean, they can't necessarily call you out if they're not willing to put up. The only way I see you adopting working is if she surrenders all of her rights to you, and she respects any boundaries you make. Sibling 1 is child-free and has a lifestyle that wouldn't allow him to include a child into it, and sibling 2 has 3 kids who are under 4 years old and a 6-year-old. Our parents are in their 50s and planning on retiring soon, and grandparents are in their late 80s, so they don't have the sheer energy required to have a baby. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to have any contact with my late husband's affair child? This is a long story, so buckle up. 7 years ago, my husband passed away. A few months after he passed away, a 15-year-old teenager came to my house. She revealed that she was his daughter. His name isn't in her birth certificate, but he really stepped up after he found out that her mom died when she was 10. She went to live with her grandmother, and my husband paid her grandmother each month to help with the expenses. After my husband died, the payments stopped and her grandmother threw her out. After being homeless for a couple of weeks, she came to my house. This was a pretty big shock to me, and I cannot stress how much I didn't want this person in my house. At the same time, I couldn't leave a child homeless. So I told her that I would help her and give her a place to stay. I also warned her that I only want to help her out, and that I am not taking any maternal role and she shouldn't expect me to. She agreed. She stayed at my house from the years of 15 to 18. My kid had already gone off to college, and I didn't mind. I never acted on the resentment I felt, but at the same time, I refused to do anything that could be considered parent-like. I pretty much only provided her with food and gave her a place to stay. That's it. She left when she was 18. I didn't have any contact with her after she left. She's now 20, and she contacted me recently. She wanted to connect, and she told me that I am the only mother figure she has. She wanted to bond with me, and she wanted me to consider her a daughter to me. After some contemplation, I reminded her that it wasn't a role I was willing to take, and that it was something I warned her about very early on. I helped her because she needed it, not because I loved her. She cried and told me that it wasn't fair and I wasn't giving her a chance. The thing is, I don't think I have to. I have tried refusing politely, but she keeps pushing this, and I am about to block her everywhere. My kid, who has always refused to even talk to the girl, thinks I am right. My friends are divided on this issue. Am I the a-hole here? Now for the top comments. No a-holes here, except for your late husband. He really did drop something on you. My ex has a love child of his own. I'll say for legal reasons, allegedly. If I were in your shoes, I would have made the same choices. I wouldn't have bonded with my husband's love child, but I wouldn't have left her on the streets. I can understand her hurt, but if you can't find it in you to want to bond with her, then why force it? Would she have to force a bond with you if you wanted it and she didn't want to? Given the amount of posts on Reddit lately from people telling their partners' affair children to pound sand, I really have to commend Opie for stepping up. She didn't have to, but she put her own feelings aside for the sake of the kid, and I really respect that. No a-holes here. You are not her mother. Although, I do want to point out that it wasn't realistic of you to expect a 15-year-old orphan not to get emotionally attached to you when you were the only family she had left, and you chose to open your home to her. You could consider taking on the role of an aunt or an older friend. There is a middle ground between being her mother and going no contact, and she isn't at fault here either. I think that's asking for too much. What Opie did is even more than what a lot of people would have accepted, especially when the husband was already dead. She did her fair share. No a-holes here. She's been dealt a tough hand, but you're not responsible for her. You already did a lot to help her out. Agree, no a-holes here, but I feel worst for the girl. Husband was the a-hole, not her. She didn't ask for this, and she seems to have no one. Her sibling and the closest thing to a maternal figure she has resent her for existing. Very sad. I can't imagine what that feels like. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.